Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to preview this Saturday Showtime triple header, which has Devin Alexander versus Jesus Soto-Karass. We have Gary Russell Jr. fighting Russell-Lomachenko for the featherweight title. And then we have Robert Guerrero in his first fight back since his loss to Floyd Mayweather against Guerrero-Kamegai. Now, all three of these fights should be pretty decent. We got some intriguing matchups here, and let's get right into it. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, so the first match of the night is going to be Robert the Ghost Guerrero versus...
It's actually the main event.
The main event?
Yeah.
Oh, then we're going to go back and say Devin Alexander versus Soto-Karass.
There you go.
Both of these guys on the comeback trail. Devin Alexander has not fought since his loss to Sean Porter, if I'm not mistaken.
That was in December.
That's right. So he's looking to come back and start making noise at welterweight again. And this is going to be a rough match because Soto-Karass is a very tough customer.
Oh, yeah.
Not very fast, not the strongest puncher, but he is a grinded out, tough guy. Now, he has been knocked out, but Devin Alexander...
Quite a few times.
Quite a few times. But Devin Alexander is, to me, and if you look at his record, not a knockout puncher. So he's going to get rounds in.
Yeah.
I think if anything that he wants to work on against Soto-Karass is just work. Just get the rounds in. Because you haven't fought in a while. You want to stay sharp. Now, fortunately, he's not going to put him down because he really doesn't... I don't think he closes his fist all the way when he throws his punches. He's athletic, great, really good footwork. You saw that in the Maidana match, and he should be able to turn Soto-Karass. It's just that he's got to really lay hands on him.
Yeah, and also Soto-Karass is much bigger than Devin Alexander. I think he's got like a 3-inch height advantage. The reach might be about the same, but Soto-Karass being a natural welterweight, and I think he's fought at 154 as well.
Yes.
Like I said, he's a big dude. I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty rough fight for Alexander. Because of that, Soto-Karass is known to make it a rough fight, whether you want it to be or not. Ask Andre Berto. So with that, we're going to look for Devin Alexander to work those, do everything Rob said. And hopefully he has some variety in his attack. I've noticed over the last few years that Devin Alexander, while a very skilled guy, gets very robotic in there. Like he will throw the same combination over and over and over again. But then again, it's up for the other guy to stop them from doing that. So it's going to be up to Soto-Karass to stop Devin Alexander from doing his program combinations. Honestly, I don't think he can. He's just going to go in there and he's going to bite down on that mouthpiece and wing some punches and maybe catch Devin Alexander slipping. He's pretty okay defensively, so I don't think that's going to happen. But I do see a very rough fight, a very physical fight, but Devin Alexander pulling it off in the end.
That's right.
All right, so the next fight we have is probably the most intriguing matchup on the card. We have Gary Russell Jr. of Maryland versus Russell-Lomachenko, who's from the Ukraine, correct?
Yes.
And this is Lomachenko's third pro fight. Whether or not you count the World Series of Boxing, then it's maybe like 11.
Right.
I guess those don't officially count, so he's at number 3.
But it's professional experience, professional level experience. Let's say that.
It's still pretty low regardless.
Right.
Gary Russell Jr. is, I believe, 22-0. Lomachenko is 1-1. But the two fights that Lomachenko has had on the big stage are probably bigger than all of Gary Russell's put together.
Right.
But the seasoning that Gary Russell got in fighting those guys coming up might be a bit much for Lomachenko to handle over 12 rounds. Lomachenko is a sharpshooter. Gary Russell is a very fast sharp combination puncher. So in this fight, I see it going the distance, and I see Lomachenko landing the more showy punches, but Russell really outworking and out hustling him over the 12-round duration. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Gary Russell's really going to work the combination. He's probably got the fastest hands in boxing right now. Not really, like you said, great defense. The hand movement leaves a little bit to be desired, especially against a guy versus Lomachenko who's not super fast, but very sharp puncher. And actually, he has some pop in those punches as well. He did go the full 12, if I'm not mistaken, in one of those fights
with
Salido, which is a tough thing to do versus Orlando Salido, regardless of who you are. So he got a lot of experience. I kind of expect him to start a little bit faster this time around. But in starting faster, he will get caught. It's not like a guy like Salido who's going to take the punishment and then try to wear you down. Lomachenko's really going to have to step into Gary Russell's wheelhouse. But I think he might have a chance to start working that jab.
Yeah, the first pro fight for Lomachenko, he did end by knockout, but I don't think he knocked out anybody in the World Series of boxing.
Right.
So I'm not really sure about the punching power. I think he did hurt Salido though.
He did hurt Salido.
So, and Salido's a pretty durable guy. Kind of hard to stop. So the power may be there. We really haven't seen it to really give you like the most accurate prediction on his power. But we've seen Gary Russell put some people to sleep. Big time.
That's right.
Now, were those people on the level of Lomachenko? Absolutely not. But we still have seen some pop in his punches. We've seen the blazing fast combinations. But what we haven't seen is him do it over 12 rounds.
And we've seen Gary Russell go 12 rounds several times before.
You mean,
no,
Gary Russell hasn't been 12 rounds yet.
I mean, not 12 rounds, but he's been more rounds than Lomachenko.
Yes.
More times.
Right.
While Lomachenko has gone 12 rounds, we've seen Gary Russell in numerous, 8 and 10 round fights. That's
right.
what I mean. Not 12, but 8 and 10 round, the full duration of the fight.
There you go. So, really, this one's kind of a toss-up. I think I said earlier in the video I was leaning towards Russell. If I didn't, I am. I think he's going to out-hustle Lomachenko over the duration. In a fight that some people may disagree with the decision. Lomachenko, like I said earlier, will land the more showy punches because he's a sharpshooter and he is a very pinpoint puncher, but he doesn't punch often. So when he does land, you're going to know it. But I expect Russell to touch him enough over that duration to earn the decision.
I'm going split decision on this one. It's going to be close unless Gary Russell or Lomachenko really surprises the other fighter. I'm going split decision in favor of Gary Russell because I just think it depends on how fast Lomachenko starts. I think Gary Russell is gonna kind of measure that first round and start reeling off combinations if he feels that he can, if he has an outright speed advantage.
Yeah.
And it depends on how Lomachenko actually gets in there and works because he does actually work pretty well in a box. He can fight inside when he needs to. So that remains to be seen.
All right. So tune in for that one. That's probably going to be, I think, will be the most intriguing fight on the card. Now, for the main event, we've got Robert Guerrero versus Yoshihiro Kamegai. Sorry. And in this one, like I said, this is Robert Guerrero's first fight back since losing to Floyd Mayweather. He had a few fights offered to him that he turned down. And I'm not even going to get into the politics of all that stuff. He's in the ring, he's fighting, and he's fighting a tough Japanese customer who has only lost once, and he has a pretty glossy KO record. Now, for what I've seen of Kamegai, he's kind of, I kind of say he's maybe like a poor man's Winky Wright. He loves that earmuff, and he'll step to you and wait for you to finish before he throws his punches. He has a very nice left hook to the body. Every time I saw him throw that, it landed with a nice thud. His right hand's okay. I think he should turn it over a little bit more. But he also does the shoulder roll every now and then. But the things that I see him having trouble with in this fight are he switches very obviously from defense to offense. When he's on defense, he's going to walk to you with those earmuffs up, just like this, and he might show you the shoulder. He's just going to do that. But then when he goes to punch, his arms are down here. He's like, okay, I'm ready to fight now. And against someone as skilled and as smart as Robert Guerrero, that's going to be a problem. The second thing is, he's a kind of you punch, I punch type of guy. He's going to wait, and once Guerrero finishes punches, then he's going to punch. The problem is, Robert Guerrero is a very tough customer, and I haven't seen anything from Kamegai that would show that he is ready for somebody to be up in his face for 10 to 12 rounds.
Yeah. The one thing I've noticed with Kamegai, before we go to Robert Guerrero, is he has a pretty decent uppercut. Left uppercut.
I forgot that.
Yeah, he can really sneak that in on Guerrero, because Guerrero does. He kind of has both. He doesn't earmuff the same, but he does have both, and he should be able to kind of sneak that in. A lead left uppercut on Guerrero, and it's got a little bit of pop on it, but I just don't think with Guerrero's tough. I mean, he's going to be able to weather the storm. He's going to be able to punch, and if he's going to wait on Guerrero to stop punching, that's really bad, because Guerrero probably will start taking a lot of wind and a lot of those tools away just from his accuracy.
Yeah, and Guerrero is not a stranger to a little bit of roughhouse tactics. As you see, he kind of pulled a street move on Andre Berto, where he grabbed the back of his head and just kept punching. I thought it was funny, even though it's illegal. I mean, neither Berto nor the ref did anything about it, and that's neither here nor there. Guerrero will get dirty if he has to. Another thing is, I'm not sure about Kamegai's gas tank. We know Robert Guerrero has been 12 rounds many times. He's very well conditioned, and he's actually the first CrossFit sponsored boxer. He began doing CrossFit as his strength and conditioning regimen, which I believe will help him, because he's already a pretty durable guy. So now he's going to be doing a lot of explosive Olympic lifts, a lot of high volume with his body weight exercises, which honestly you should be doing anyway. You should be doing a lot of push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups and things like that. That's the way the old school guys did it. They didn't do Olympic lifts, but they did do a high volume of body weight exercises. So to add those two together, I think we're going to have a pretty good physical Robert Guerrero in the ring. So another thing of Kamegai, I'm not sure about his chin. His defense is okay. I saw lesser opponents punch through his guard. Mm-hmm. So I'm leaning towards Robert Guerrero in a stoppage for this one.
I'm going 7 or 8 on this one.
Yeah, this is a good comeback fight for him. He's on TV. I said I wasn't going to get into the politics, but I just changed my mind. They offered him Keith Thurman. He said no. He claims the offer was too low. Who's this guy? I mean, he couldn't be getting more to fight this guy than he was getting to fight Keith Thurman. And that was a higher profile fight. I don't really get the logic behind this one.
They probably couldn't decide the A side on this one. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
And they can he's probably thinking, if depending on who his manager is that fight could be a bigger fight down the line.
Yeah. I mean, he just fought Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's
he
a
lost.
big name already.
But he lost.
Yeah, but it's like,
He lost.
when you fight Oscar,
He lost.
you became the big guy. You fight Floyd, now you were known. Like, that's how Victor Ortiz kept getting on TV, because he fought Mayweather.
He lost.
Yeah, he lost too.
You also got to remember, Pacquiao and Mayweather beat De La Hoya.
They did. But think about Fernando Vargas, Felix Trinidad. They lost too.
He ain't that big of a name to do that. But it could be a bigger fight in the future, especially against either Porter or Thurman.
Yeah.
Or whoever else. Amir Khan. I'm just going to put that out there just because. Anyway.
Somebody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I said, we're going Guerrero stoppage. And maybe he'll fight one of those guys that Rob mentioned. So, we'll find out on Saturday. So, tune in and enjoy. That's it for this episode, guys. Hope you liked it. If you do, hit the like button. Hit the share button. Share it on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, whatever social network you're on. We're on Facebook. You can like our page, Capital of Combat. We're also on Google+. If you have anything you want to add on, you got the comment section below. If you are familiar with any of the fighters, throw in some little tidbits and jewels for us. If you just have random questions, you can hit us up on our Facebook page. You can hit us up on YouTube. You can hit us up on Google+, or you can hit us up capitalcombat@gmail.com. Anything else you want to add?
Just remember, not only for that fight, but turning into Showtime Extreme, Chad Dawson is making his return, his comeback match after getting mollywopped by Adonis Stevenson versus, and he'll be fighting George Blades, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.